Indecision. What exactly is it? I took a walk early and thought about my day. Being a fairly decisive person, I wondered why I was having so much trouble deciding if I was going to hang out by the lake and write something or do something else. It seemed like a simple decision. Either I'm going to do it or not. Is there something more pressing? Something more important that I needed to do instead? That's it, right? Yet I went back and forth on it as I walked. Neither decision felt right. One of them has to be right, or at least one of them has to be more right. Right? The problem wasn't that one of the options didn't feel more correct. It was something else. Perhaps the root of indecision for that moment, and maybe for moments in your life, was the something else. If you're experiencing indecision on something, it's probably caused by one of 5 things. Number 1, not enough information. You can't make a decision if you don't have enough information. Does it feel like this decision simply doesn't have enough information? Do you feel like you're just not qualified yet to make the decision? Parenting's like that for, the first 18 years. Determining that you simply don't have enough information can be great because in the age of the internet, it's a lot easier to get information. You can also ask your peers, people who are important to you, people you look up to, and people who are authorities on the matter. Just don't Google your symptoms. Number 2, 2 or more items are in conflict. And when I say conflict, I mean they're in conflict when it comes to time, energy, or resources. The 2 things you want to do are costly. If you do one, you can't afford the other one. Or they both occur at the same time. If you go to one event, you can't go to the other one. In these cases, you have to prioritize. And it's one of those things where you may not be able to fix it this time, but you'll be able to fix it before it happens next time. In other words, planning is your friend. Planning to save up the finances to do both of these things, or scheduling events so they don't conflict, or managing your personal energy so that you can do 2 things, is something you can do ahead of time. Number 3, 2 or more items are of equal value to you. This sounds a bit like the second one, but it is slightly different. If you are forced to pick one, then prioritization again helps you. You have to figure out which one's more important to you. Or, and this is a big exciting or, just figure out a way to have them both. Sometimes we limit ourselves and say, well, I can't have both of those things. Well, why not? Number 3, not being honest with yourself. The way this feels is that you feel obligated to do one, but you really want to do the other. A good example of this is somebody who values me time, the quality time with yourself. You're invited out to do something with friends or family, and it overlaps on time that you're trying to schedule for yourself because you just haven't had a breather. You may either be only subconsciously aware of this, and therefore sort of resent your friends for some reason and just be crabby. Or you are aware of this, but you're embarrassed to say it. You're embarrassed to say, I'm just going to stay home tonight. I want to read. I want to relax. I haven't had any me time for myself. Well, what are you going to do? I'm going to do nothing or everything. I don't know. I use that one as an example because it's pretty common for people. It's a very common one for people to have a conflict about. So when this comes up, think to yourself, why does this not feel right? What am I not telling myself? Am I being honest? Do I honestly want to do this? Do I honestly not want to do this? Or is it just something else I want to do more that I'm just not in touch with? And number 5, good, better, best. The good, better, best game is a game we play with all sorts of things. A good example is a menu at a restaurant. You go to the menu and you look and go, oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks better. Oh, that's the best one. And you may say, well, that's the best one and that's too expensive, so I'm going to go with better. That's when people play the game correctly. A good example of when people play the game incorrectly is when they're dating, especially when it comes to online dating. They play good, better, best, with their potential dates. They connect with someone and they say, oh, they're good. And then they kind of string them along a little bit. And then they connect with another person and say, ooh, that person's better. And then they wait a little bit to see if there's a best that shows up. In the meantime, the good and the better are saying, hey, are you available on Friday? Hey, are you available on Thursday? And the person playing the game incorrectly says, yeah, I'll let you know. And that usually means, yeah, I'm waiting for Mr. Best to show up. And it doesn't have to be dating. This also happens with friends. Sometimes you have that friend that you ask, you want to go out on Friday? You want to come over and help me do this? You want to help me move? You want to help me do something? Yeah, I'll get back to you. Or they try to schedule it so far in advance that they figure they'll get all of their stuff out of the way before then anyway. You can play the good, better, best game with your menu and what you're going to eat. Don't play it with your friends. Don't play it with your potential dates. Or at least don't play it incorrectly. We as human beings are really, really good at filtering and adapting and sorting. But don't be frozen in indecision while you wait for something better to come along. And I can hear what you're thinking. In response, you're pushing back and saying, well, I'm not going to jump at the first thing. I'm not going to pick the first thing on the menu. I'm not going to go out with the first guy that asks me. I'm not going to jump every time my friend says we should get together. I have another friend that's less annoying. I have something else I want to do. That friend never does the thing I want to do. I understand that. I'm just saying it's a really slippery slope and really easy to get trapped in the good, better, best game. And you may find this is a chronic problem of indecision in your life, is that you keep playing the good, better, best game, and the people you're playing it with and you keep getting burned. I hope that helps. And look, one of the trappings of being an adult is that you have to make a lot of decisions. And people say, I don't like this whole adulting thing. Yeah, I get that. But when you do come upon indecision, it can kind of be a learning experience for you. If you can determine that your chronic case of indecision is always caused by the fact that you just never feel like you have enough information, or you don't feel like you're an authority, or you're a master at the good, better, best game, or you're being dishonest with yourself, if you can figure those things out, you can have a lot less stress in your life and you can stop beating yourself up. As always, I welcome your comments. I hope you got something tangible out of this. And if you did, please like it. Share it with someone who also might get some benefit from this. Thank you.